problems. I appreciate that you're doing it on your end. And now, for your third listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip or Critical, with your guides, Alexa MKE and Shock the MoKE, MOKE, where we praise and vent on all things that in the end
just don't
matter.
We actually have some video.
Well, since this is one of the things that really don't matter, whether we run the video or not, I suppose it doesn't matter in the end. For
oh my God.
Listeners.
Just for our listeners, we had some technical difficulties. Like, we don't always have technical difficulties, but yeah.
Well, it was on her end, she said.
It's always on my end. I'm the technical guru who can't do crap. So.
She's on the butt end. Yes.
Yes.
Butt end, butt end.
Here, we're going to get some bubbles going. How's that?
All right. Boo, 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 boo.
How come the bubbles aren't playing? There we go. It's par for the course when the bubbles don't play. And Dave, you're small, so I'm going to make you bigger. No, that didn't
All right. There we go. Oh, we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. So, what you been watching, Dave?
What did I watch? All right. Well, Ted Danson must have a really big Q rating, not QAnon. A big Q, like quotient rating where people like him because he shows up in series all the time.
Well, he does, yeah.
Yeah, he was just ended that God one, whatever, Better Off or something like that, and then he showed up in this one, and I'm like, hey, this one looks fun. Like
what
I said,
one? What are we talking about?
Mr. Mayor. He's in Mr. Mayor. It's called now. Yes, on regular TV, and it is a community
community-esque.
No, not Parks and Rec. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, all right.
Same thing. Parks and Rec without being overly smart, which is why we all like Parks and Rec. So
it's not smart. So it's overly dumb.
It uses the same things, but it dumbs it down. Come on, it's more for the masses than Parks and Rec was. It aims to be with the jokes and everything. But
are you trying to say that Mr. Mayor is for idiots?
No, yeah, less high.
No. Your foot is firmly in your mouth right now.
Yeah, it's for the dumb. It's dumbed down for the masses, okay? If you want the good version of Mr. Mayor, go watch Parks and Rec. But no, Mr. Mayor is good. It's fun. I like the side characters and the little sparring that goes on. There's some really good pop culture references that come flying that you gotta, and that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't mean it's dumb. It's just it's different. It's a different cultural reference.
Right. Now the fun part about it is that he had a little thing where he had to step up in front of his little community where he's from, which is a ridge, say Brentwood type. They're going to put a recycling center in, and everybody's up there going, not by us, right? So he's like, well, I can handle this, to his little sidekick person, Holly Hunter, who was just a firecracker in this thing. And he goes, well, I can handle this. And he goes, well, there's going to be that one star who stands up and has something really weird that he has to. And they're like, yeah, I wonder who that's going to be. And so we get to the meeting, and the people are talking, and all of a sudden David Spade comes up, talks up. I have bees. Will this hurt my bees? I don't want to hurt anything about my bees. So we get David Spade to show up. Then all of a sudden, Annie McDowell pops up, and of course Ted Danson's character is just in love with her. Hair flowing and curly, and Annie McDowell, and his sidekick Holly Hunter can see that he's starting to get a little gaga over this, right? So he's trying to bring her back to earth. So she goes out in the audience. She comes up and he goes, so if it's not going to be here, should it be like where I live? And Addie's like, well, there you go. She's actually volunteering it. We can put it where she lives. And all of a sudden, Ted Danson's like, you're just another one of those, aren't you? You're not real. So I appreciated that. And at the very end, as they're doing credits, they have one more person come up, and it's Chrissy Teigen as the credits are rolling, and she's talking. He goes, I really don't know what this is about. This is the only way I can get out of the house to do stuff. Do you know that John Legend's name, his last name's not even really Legend? It's McGruff. Like the crime dog.
That's awesome.
And then she's like, anybody want to go do something? Want to go somewhere? No? Screw y'all. And then she just leaves. It was a great cameo from Chrissy. Great.
That's fun. See, then it's fun to watch. It's just got different cultural references.
Right,
yeah.
right. That are dumbed down for the masses. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you say.
As you pointed out, I said. All right. The next thing I saw is that it ran by. Someone's going like, yeah, there's 3 Batmans in 2022. And I'm like, what?
Well, yeah, we all know. There's Batman, and then there's Batman, and then there's Batman.
Batman, the Cape Crusader, and there's the Dark Knight. I'm sure those are the 3 different ones that we've got.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
But no, we've got Patterson from Twilight coming in,
who I've heard really good things about for some of his stuff. And so people are very excited about Robert Pattinson.
I got no problem with him on it. I really don't. I mean, again, I didn't think I'd like any of them that play it, and they've all done a great job. A lot of them have. Yeah, so, I think Affleck as he's going to reprise his role one more time, and he's done. But I thought he worked as a great, cantankerous old Batman. It's fantastic. And I guess this is all coming together. Keaton is actually going to come back because that's a different Earth, and he was still Batman on the original movie where Keaton was
that
Batman.
One I hadn't read, so I was wondering where that came in.
Yeah. Cool. So they're kind of like picking up what's he been up to since we last left him in Burton's film or whatever way back then, and I'm like, and that's great because that one was on just the other day, that one again, and that's the Jack Nicholson one, which is great, and that's where he gets shot. He goes, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
See, I think Heath Ledger's Joker is the best Joker. He's the most Joker-esque.
Oh, that was on the other day. I watched it. Oh my gosh. And I was just him walking down, blowing up that hospital, and pushing the button in his high heels. And,
well, in the bridge scene.
And then trying to blow up, and it's like, there's one more that hasn't gone off. And he's like, you could just see this, like, where's that last, blow up? And all of a sudden, boom, and he goes, yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
so
his was
that's
iconic.
the best Joker. Yes, I will give it that, definitely.
Yeah.
So there'll be like an Earth 1 and Earth 2. Watch for those in the DC universes. So there'll be 3 Batmans. I'm also excited.
You said WandaVision.
I haven't finished
extension of the Marvel universe. Disney's doing this. Yeah.
And so I got to get Mandalorian out of the way before I can get to WandaVision. So
Mandalorian's out of the way.
I know for you, yeah.
Yeah, and I still have to watch the next couple of episodes of Expanse, so do not give me any.
I've been keeping those caught up. Yeah. I got Chrissy on. I wanted to have her watch the new updated Jumanjis, the one with like The Rock, and it's got
I saw the first one. I didn't see the next
one. Oh yeah, see the second one came out, so I'm like, well, I can't let her see the second one until I let her see the first one. So I had to finally find the first one and watch it with her again, which is great. I think it's a great movie, a lot of fun. I think everybody does a great job in it. So that was a side note. But yeah, excited for WandaVision too. So we'll have to talk about that when it hits.
Yeah.
Packers, yeah.
Packers, yeah. We're in the championship. It's gonna be a showdown with the big guns, Rodgers versus Brady.
Oh my God.
This is exciting.
How cute was Brady throwing a pass to Breeze's kid on the field after the game?
Oh, that was so amazing. That was super cool. Yeah.
If someone ever tells me that was all set up from the beginning, I'm gonna leave this world. No, I don't. I want to know that innocence was good on that one.
No, I think that was genuine. And then my buddy, my other favorite quarterback, my number one is Aaron, but my other one is Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick, yep.
Yeah, I'm worried he got injured, but I would love to see a Rodgers Mahomes showdown, like the almost legendary Aaron Rodgers against the budding legend Patrick Mahomes. I think that'd be really cool.
Both the State Farm guys are all state guys.
I didn't think of that. The State Farm guys, the State Farm quarterbacks.
Yeah. The Patrick Mahomes rate and the Aaron Rodgers rate. So.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool.
That'd be really good, but just already this Brady one. Listen, if the Packers play, I haven't said this, in a while, not since they won again, but if they play the way they've been playing, I watch the other teams. They're not going to beat us. They're not going to beat us. We're a good team. We don't make if we don't make the mistakes, like everybody can say you don't want to do, but we've got the team. We really do. And the amazing thing is, and I don't know if this is for coaches or not, But only Crosby and Rogers are from the last time we went to the Super Bowl.
I think
That's it.
coaches too, though, but I don't remember any of the coaches. And the thing is the middle of the season, I was like, we got to jettison Mike Pettin. I really didn't like him, and he's really come along as a defensive coordinator, and now our defense is actually decent. So I don't know what changed, but our defense is decent, but our special teams needs to step it up, and I think we can be unbeatable. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Again, if we play the game and we've got a running game, we've got a passing game. They were at 50-50 on that last time. We're all good. That's all it is. And that leads in, we might as well, Ted gone away.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Ted
Ted
Thompson passed away. He was 68 years old. We don't know why he passed away. They didn't really say in the press release. However, just for trivia's sake, he was the man who drafted Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And
got
then
booed his first time out because Favre was up in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, but then the other legend that passed away related to the Packers was Bud Lee, longtime Journal Sentinel journalist for sports. He covered the Packers for over 50 years, and he passed away of COVID, and he was 92, so that's really sad. So, yeah, sad information there. But then you got something about a Popeye sweater.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. Check this out. Chrissy knows me enough for my birthday. She got me Now, I hadn't had the chicken sandwich yet, the one that people lined up for.
Oh, the one that everybody's lining up for?
Right. So we went, I said, I can't wear the sweater. Or put it on, when she gave it to me, to make sure it fits. But I said, we got to wear it next time I wear it. It's because we're going to Popeyes to get the sandwich. So we actually are heading up to my folks' and we stopped in so we could bring one up to them too. I had to try as well. And we stopped at Popeyes, and I got my picture that I do on Google's, Google. With the
you gotta get your Google picture. Yeah, just so you know, Dave is famous on Google for his photos.
2.6 million views off of, what was it, 300 photos? Somewhere like that.
Man, you make my 31,000 Pinterest followers like pale in comparison.
My biggest one lately is that one I told you, Bunzel's meat processing with the deer processing out there. I had the picture of the deer processing, and I have this thing in it that says Dexter for deer, and that's got 80,000 hits in it. This little backdoor Bunzel.
Does anybody get the pun on that, Dexter for deer?
I don't know, maybe. There's no. I don't ever see any comments, people laughing. I don't get any ha-has.
Oh, okay.
I just, in my heart, I know they are.
Well, speaking of apparel, I'm trying. I like the Vibrams 5 Fingers. Those are the shoes with the toes.
Sure.
So they make another shoe called the Furoshiki, and that's a Japanese name. And basically what they are is like slippers with like a wraparound thing. And I hate wearing shoes, so I'm going to try these out at work. So the next time we all speak, I'm going to show you my Furoshikis and tell you how they worked out for work, because I'm hoping that they're pretty much like wearing slippers all day.
That'd be nice. Hey, I'll tell you, I'm a true believer in Crocs. So, when I put my first pair of Crocs on, I couldn't believe how comfortable those things were. So.
Can y'all tell we're getting old? Because we're looking for comfy shoes.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. With Skechers, when I buy tennis shoes, I buy Skechers because I watched a bunch of old guys walk by one time, and all the old guys were wearing Skechers, and I'm like, they know a comfortable shoe, those old guys. So I started looking at Skechers.
You know what? I was wearing Skechers too, and then the last several pairs I bought were giving me plantar fasciitis, so I stopped wearing them. And I went to like a totally flat, basically like a deck shoe, and my feet are much happier for it. So you have to have the right type of foot for some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I get a little callus on my right foot too. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're
gonna my deer stand, and then I got this bursitis that acts up when it gets rainy, and then my toe.
Oh, Dave. All right, we're going to internet adventures. I bubbled over Dave. So show me you got new art?
Well, I don't want to take it down because then I'll have nothing on the wall behind me. I have got to get a tapestry.
You gotta do something.
Get back there. But yes, Owen on the internet, this was posted for, he made it for his mom, Owen, Andrew Owens.
Okay.
He's actually had a little lineup, I think he said, for Marvel, and then they didn't end up doing it. And so he's a graphic artist. And this one he had just done because his mom said she always wanted something like this, him to draw it, so he did. And I thought the idea was great, and I thought the picture was great as well. Let me see if I can take it down. Probably not from where I am. Oh, I could. All right.
All right, Dave's got it.
But
down.
it's actually a three blind mice retribution. I call it.
Ah, cool.
He didn't. It's kind of them turning into tables. So
very cool.
Against. Yeah. So I thought I'm like, that's great. I want that.
We'll let you put that back up. I'll come up and you can put that back up if you want.
That's all right.
All right.
So closer, so there's more of me to look at. How about that?
There you go. So the Parler, were you on any Parler social media stuff? Because I certainly wasn't.
No way.
So that got shut down. Basically what happened was Amazon Web Services shut them down because they were hosting it, and then bunch of places that were directing people to Parler and everything, that all got shut down. So they were a very right-wing social media. They basically asked for your name, your address, and your social security number. So they were like data mining as well. Turns out after they got shut down, they fired back up with help from some Russian tech backers. And the thing is that there may have been a Russian operation the entire time. So all these people who stormed the Capitol and were on Parler, you guys were helping the Russies.
Yeah. Russians are all about free speech in the U.S.
Yeah.
they like that.
Yeah, especially when it foments
unrest,
insurrection,
civil unrest.
So we're gonna say, is this critical? So what do you think, Dave? What do we all got
for hypocritical parts?
Yeah, for critical. So the GOP in Wisconsin. Let's just talk about this. Did you collect unemployment at any time during last year? I did. My stuff was fine. It went through, but I know people who still haven't gotten their money.
Yeah, they had a backlog. Boy,
yeah. So Governor Evers called a special session to discuss upgrading the unemployment, the code, because the code was written 50s, 60s, the
old computers. Yeah.
Everything is out of date. We really need to upgrade. It's inadequate. So Department of Workforce Development has their hands tied. They can only do so much with stuff that is almost a half a century out of date. And so he called in a special session, and the Republicans gavelled it in and gavelled it out. And so they sit there and they're critical about everything Governor Evers does, but Governor Evers calls them to session and they just go away. And so I don't even want to hear anything from Republicans about anything, because y'all can just go away. So that's my take on it. I don't know.
Yep. No. I keep hearing it. Gavel in, gavel out, gaveling. Well, we certainly brought forward something that we had bipartisan approval. No, you didn't.
No, and then even with their COVID stuff, they kind of whacked out a bipartisan COVID response, and then when they gavelled in, they didn't want anything to do with the bipartisan one. They wanted to do theirs, and theirs just gave money to people who didn't need it, and they
protected everybody.
They protected
all the companies,
all the big businesses, and basically said people and small businesses can go to hell. And so I don't want to hear about these guys. They got to get voted out in 2 years. Bye. Robin Voss, Scott Fitzgerald, Tom Tiffany, Glenn Grothman. Let's just name them all off and just get them out, because they don't want to work. They just don't want to work. And unfortunately, Scott Fitzgerald, I did not vote for him. I voted against him, and he didn't get voted out. So he's still our representative in the legislature, which pisses me off because he does nothing. They all sit on their hands and do nothing. So
they're waiting to see what happened too.
Yeah, sorry. That's my mini rant over there for that.
That's all right. That's good. Can't put a quarter in Alexa very often, so let her go.
Yeah, there. Right. So you wanted to talk about My Pillow guy?
Oh my gosh, it was a month ago or something. Didn't we almost talk about it? I was going, or we did. How the fact.
No, we talked about the My Pillow guy.
Yeah, that he came in. He was talking to him about COVID. He had ideas on COVID. So now he has some ideas on how to keep in office, like martial law. That was in his notes, and for the ex-POTUS for once, the guy came in and he gavelled him in and gavelled him out. So he was in and out, which is great, But the reason he's in and out is because when he wants to talk to Crazy, he just pardoned Banyan. So he can just call up Banyan now and they can sit around and talk Crazy together. He doesn't need the MyPillow guy. But the MyPillow guy has now been shut down on some of his sites for selling. Guys are starting to shut him down. I know that everybody's going to go like, oh, that's wrong to do that just because he's, no.
Nope,
it's
that's
right.
how the open market works, boys and girls.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed anything.
Right. How you think it's okay for a Christian couple to not sell a cake to a gay couple because it's their business, but Google, or Facebook or Twitter because it's their business. Now they have to do what you want. That is just hypocritical thinking at its finest.
Exactly.
Right, but yeah, moving into yours, that MyPillow man certainly would have loved this coup d'etat.
Yes.
The sedition.
So let's say coup d'etat, because that's what it was, is not a protest. It wasn't a protest. It was a riot, and it was sedition because they were trying to overthrow the government, and it was an inside job. And no, it was not. And they call it Antifa. It's not Antifa. It's anti-fa. It means anti-fascist. And so who was all there? Oh, let's see. The QAnon shaman from QAnon, the Proud Boys, the white supremacists, and then I Baked Alaska, who was some other white supremacist from, another state. It's like there were so many links
Camp
and
Auschwitz.
videos, and they were basically, what would you say, crowing about how they were going to kill Pelosi and go after Mike Pence. They erected a gallows, and according to an engineer on Reddit, that was a working gallows. It didn't look that great, but it was a working gallows, and he said it would have killed people. And so they were looking to kill people, and they planted bombs by the DNC and the RNC, whoever did that.
Yeah,
and they
still looking for them.
And they went in with ammo and everything else.
And they
that was
smeared
sedition.
their crap on the walls, and they beat a person with the flag. Yeah, that's really an American thing.
It was a flag pole. Let's get our facts correct. Unlike others, it was a flag pole and a fire extinguisher. But the one guy is still dead, and there are 4 others dead, and somebody committed suicide on the from the Capitol Police, and then somebody who was about to be arrested committed suicide. So this is stupid. People died.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And I guess, like you said, there was still just ripples that are still going through on all this. But it was fun listening about how women did Tinder profiles so that they could call out these.
That was awesome.
They took the filter off or something. Apparently Tinder did so, and then they put it back on so that Democrats can't get into the Republican side or something. So that was hilarious as well.
Well, yeah, they turned a bunch of them in, and families were turning people in because yeah. But then we had our inauguration, and somebody got all butthurt. I'm not a snowflake, but Biden got more A-listers than I did.
I tell you what I liked is that when Marlena and Trump went on their last plane ride, when she got off down in Florida, you know how you talk about taking your bra off when you get home from work,
Yeah.
My God, she took her bra off, and what I mean by that is she left in a $1,000 suit and walked out in a muumuu from Gucci, still expensive, but it was a muumuu and deck shoes and her hair up. I know that she got on that plane and went like, I am done with this thing. The 4 years are over. We are out of. I am no longer the first.
Oh, yeah. And then did you see her walk off? Like, he got off the plane and stopped, and she just kept going.
Yeah.
He
still had a suit on and everything in the tie.
There's going to be a tell-all book. She's going to be gone. I'm sure, they had a prenup, but I'm sure she's getting something.
No, she'll be set up enough. She doesn't need to talk about it. She's still, was with him. She still got Barron to worry about. So that's the guy I want to get. Because how old is he now? He's got to be, what is he, 40, 50?
He's got to be in his early teens, yeah.
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 So I mean, he's enough to comprehend what was going around for a couple of these years now on the way out. I'd like to hear a book from that kid, when it's all said and done.
Provided he doesn't turn out like the rest of the losers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping it's like his niece, Trump's niece, that's always,
Yeah, Mary Trump. Yeah. And she's kind of pushing it a little bit. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think she wants her day in the sun too. Um,
right,
I don't
right, right.
disagree with anything she says, but I do kind of she's trying to
She's a pretty vocal about it all.
she's
Yeah.
throwing shade, he throws shade. It's not that much different at the end of the day. So, but yeah,
That's true.
but now we have adults in the White House.
Yes, and dogs again, pets.
Yes.
Two pets, one a rescue.
Yeah,
So
one is the rescue.
Pets are back in the White House again.
Pets are back
That
in the
just
White House.
but
Yeah.
that just doesn't tell you something about the guy too. I mean, again, it's that whole thing. When you don't have one pet and you can, it just goes to character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's really interesting was I was reading headlines from the last like day and a half, 2 days, and the press conference, people were commenting on how it was not bizarre. It was very normal and very, professional. And people were commenting on, how Biden was rolling back, a lot of the harms that Trump did in his first day. I mean, he signed so many executive orders over the last 2 days. It's not funny. His first day in office, he signed 17 executive orders, reversing some of the stuff against the LGBTQ community, stuff against immigrants, just things that we didn't,
The border wall.
joining the Paris Climate Agreement again. And this was a global agreement that Ted Cruz didn't know anything about, apparently, because he thought that Biden should be focusing on Philadelphia and not Paris. It's like, do you know what the Paris Climate Agreement is? You're an idiot. It just shows you that they don't have
their. He was at the inauguration. I would like, bye, Felicia. No, Cruz. No. Yeah. Oh, wait, let me look at the list. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not on the list. Well, Senator Ted Cruz. Yeah, you're not on the inauguration list. I'm sorry, you'll have to go watch it in the bar over there.
Well, and then, I mean, just the entire inauguration was just so. Biden's speech was both humbling and inspiring at the same time. The poet laureate.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Oh my God, Amanda Gorman.
Yeah,
22 years old. I mean, so just finger on the pulse of everything. Lady Gaga's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner was amazing. Just
Garth Brooks and his plugs were there.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? He did a really good job with Amazing Grace, and that's not even one of my favorite songs. And just all the people who were there, and J-Lo. I mean, you had J-Lo. That was so
still
cool.
A knockout.
I mean, she's amazing. She's over 50 now. I mean, you've got these icons who were able to show up and be, just the decorum was just there. It was back. It didn't feel.
That's what I mean. It's just the feel was better. And again, I'm sure the other side doesn't think that, but my gosh, a calming is just going over me a little more. Calming every day.
I was anxious until I actually listened to the entire inauguration at work. We can't have our phones in, but I had my headset in and I listened to the entire inauguration. I was just like, oh. It was just like, I don't have to worry about. And then, I don't want to go on and on, but then the new thing today that came out is that the military, the Pentagon, basically told Biden that there was no plan for distribution of vaccines. Think about that.
Yeah,
it's like
no. Well, where's the other half again that they said were there and aren't? No. They were just tell them what we want to hear until we get out of here. That's it. And I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The only thing he did, and I'm surprised he did it, was write the letter for Biden. And if I were Biden, I wouldn't have read it. No, I didn't read it. Didn't open it up. What?
No, Biden's got more.
He's a better guy than that. Better
takes
man
the
than
high
I am,
road. Yeah.
Because I would have just no. He had everything he needed to say in the last 4 years. There's nothing in that letter that's can be anything that I need to see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I would. Unopened. His is the one thing that he didn't stay there. He didn't do anything like he should have. And then he wants to have that one thing because that stays in the file. with all the letters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
his, his
Yeah.
legacy is going to be.
Oh, I did that. I did that. I know I didn't do all the other junk and stuff, but I did that. See, it's in the pile. The letter's in the pile.
Oh God, he doesn't even talk that cohesive. Give me a break.
It was the
No.
hugest letter. It was the hugest, bestest letter. It had the mostest wording in it. That was the bestest.
It was bigly. It was a bigly letter. So what I'm hoping is that we don't have to talk about politics too much anymore because we're gonna have other things to talk about because COVID's gonna be,
We'll get bashed for that, not keeping up on it.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully,
Gotta
we
watch
can,
our own people,
yeah,
too.
yeah. It'd be cool to be watch our shows and just chill and be about Milwaukee. But yeah. So let's see. We've got a MoKE moment. So Dave, what do you got on tap for us for?
All right. Well, yeah. First off, one leads into the other, but one of the nice internet things that done every once in a while is I try to once a year, or for the next holidays, get a Star Wars uh, keepsake Hallmark ornament. I try to find one that I like, or there's a lot of cool ones out there. Um, I've got a C3PO head that does the talking, and this one is the carbon dated one, with the in carbon. And so
Okay.
when you push it, it actually.
Oh, it's the carbonite. Okay, that's cool.
You're free as a carbonite. You have hibernation sickness.
I can't see.
Your eyesight will return in time.
Where am I?
Jabba's palace.
Who are you?
Someone who loves you.
Where?
Oh, isn't that
Aww.
nice? So
Dave's an old romantic.
Oh, it was such a nice to hear that. Now, with it came this thank you card. And sometimes, when you buy stuff from the internet, there's, people are always like, well, thanks for ordering from us. I mean, this is a handwritten, you see, handwritten. Thank you for trusting us with your order. We hope that you're enjoying this Hallmark keepsake ornament. As promised, 10% of the final sales have been donated to a charity for autism. Sincerely thanks, Eden Claire. Now, I feel like a heel because I only bought it. It was the cheapest one I found. Cheapest price. I know. And then you just go, okay, that one. And I'm like, okay. So I not only got the cheapest one, but they took 10% of it away for this autism. It's almost like, can I pay a 10% more now somewhere? I mean,
So where did you buy it? Did you buy it on Amazon or what?
I think it was eBay actually. I try to buy
Okay.
stuff on eBay more than Amazon actually. So yeah, so I just thought, well, that's really nice. If you could seek out something like that, if there's two and it's an extra little dollar and two, but they, give it to a charity, please watch for that. I luckily did it for somebody, and now I want to watch more for it so that I can try to spread that out a little more if it's a dollar or two like that.
That's
Well,
not really a rant. That's really cool.
well, I know it's kind of like again on me, it rants me that I feel like a bad person. Now, that rolls me into my rant. All right.
Oh, okay. So you haven't gotten started yet.
No, this is the tee up. Okay. That's something nice. Funds, collecting money goes to proceeds. All right. So we have a mutual friend person we know, we worked with, whose daughter lost their apartment to a fire. And
Oh no, is it the person I'm thinking of?
probably there's not so many with a new baby.
Aw.
There's baby involved, a little small baby.
Here, I'll just say this. Is this the person who wanted to make sure their daughter had a really big wedding?
I don't know, but they had one, and they were together for it, and then for the wedding, and they weren't before it, and now they weren't after it, and now they aren't again.
Okay.
Couple. All right.
You'll tell me
So,
afterwards.
yeah. So anyway, so I'm looking at it and I'm reading a little story what happened. Oh, and then I can see at the top there's a setting up a GoFundMe thing or something. Please donate, right? So I scroll up to that and I take a look at what this 18-year-old, for this 18-year-old and this baby and the family, what their goal is. give me a shot at a goal. I'm thinking now. All right, let's.
Do you want me to pull a number out of the air for you?
Yes, I want you to. Now, this is the way I look at it.
So they lost everything in the fire.
Let's just say they did. So I'm going to get them a crib. I'm going to get bed. I'm going to get a dresser. I'm going to get some clothes. I'm going to get some silverware, pots and pans. We're going to get a couch. We'll get a TV. Set the person up. Just like anybody else should be set up, right?
All right. So out of the air, I'm going to say anywhere between $25,000 and $35,000 to replace everything.
What? For an 18-year-old? How? Boy, I am in a different world. My God.
Because I'm thinking if you have to replace everything, I know we're insured for a lot more because I have renter's insurance, but I think the base they ask you is like $25,000 to $35,000.
Right. No, I think that's what they give you, right? But I thought to myself, I'm like, I've been collecting stuff all my life. I don't have that kind of number here in an apartment.
You probably have higher number than you think.
It may be, but I also know that when I go down and just say all the things I did, dresser, TV, bed, crib. You know what I can get? I could get that at first month and a security deposit. I could probably get that done for $5,000. You know what I mean?
Wow, you are old.
I guess so. You know what I mean? This is my point. I called another mutual friend of ours that still works there, and said, "Hey, get a load. They're at $25,000. They're asking for," and he goes, "Oh, they must have dropped it because they started at 100."
Okay, 100 is way too much. 25 is about right for renter's insurance. And why didn't they have renter's insurance? Renter's insurance is a couple dollars a month.
No, it's 10. It's $110, $120 a year.
A year, as I said, that's like $10 a month.
No, that's what I said. I said, listen, she gets set up in a nice place. I'll pay that renter's insurance for 2 years for her. How about that? But I'm thinking to myself, $25,000. That just seems to me incredibly elitist. I don't know. This seems out of touch in my world.
$25,000 I find reasonable.
We're not setting this kid up. I mean, come on. We don't give her more than she had before.
Well, no. And here's the other thing. Like if you were to go through your renter's insurance, let's say my apartment burned down. So I have receipts from the desk, all my computer equipment. I have receipts for these cabinets that I bought recently, my artwork. I have receipts for a lot of what's in here, but I have some things that I don't have receipts for. So when you go and you fill out the form, if you put in toaster, they're going to give you the cheap Walmart toaster. But if you put in, high-end toaster from Williams-Sonoma, they're going to give you the Williams-Sonoma money because now you've documented what you had.
If the receipts didn't burn up in the fire.
Right. And that's why they have you fill out this form. So there's a way to even game that system so that you could get higher end appliances than maybe what you had. But that being said, if you're a renter, you have to have insurance. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, think about people smoking. I was talking to one of my coworkers about this about 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about how he used to be a smoker and he'd smoke a pack a day. And, cigarettes are like $7 a pack.
Oh, yeah.
7 times, 7 is 35. He said he was easily blowing, $150, $200 a month on smoking, which means he was smoking them more than a pack a day probably. But he said once he quit smoking, I said, yeah, that's a car payment. He said, oh my God, it freed up so much money. So, people who do those types of things, if you're buying Starbucks at $7 a day, if you're smoking a pack of cigarettes at $7 a day, if you're drinking a 6 of beer at $7 a 6 for expensive beer, it adds up. So, not having renter's insurance makes no sense.
Swinging by the gas station to get a 12-pack of soda for $7 instead of going to Walmart where I can get 3 12-packs for $7.
Yeah, or going to Woodman's or something and they have a sale on the Faygo for $2.50 at 12.
Right. Yeah. 3 for $12. Well, that's not a deal.
No, $2.50. So it's $7.50 for 12, or $7.50 for a case and a half, basically. So
yeah.
We're doing math.
Tell there to be no math. There'd be no math.
No,
All
there's
right,
always
so you've calmed me down a little bit, but I'm still no. To me, to asking for, asking for $5,000, asking for maybe 10. But when I see a number like $25,000,
yeah,
there's for a kid,
it makes you not want to help.
It makes me not want to help.
I understand.
All right? Start at 5 and let people go past the number. That constantly happens with good causes. If it doesn't happen, then you didn't have a good cause. That's
and somebody like Roger and I, we do have our renter's insurance, but to be fair, once you take into account some of the tools we have, some of the camping equipment, we don't have anything that's expensive. We just have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And we're trying to get rid of stuff. So
I could use a fire.
Yeah, maybe we could use a fire. Great, Dave, come burn down my apartment.
Give me $10,000 to start over. All right, that's $25. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, speaking about $7 things or $8 things.
You got a rant on a sandwich. Well, you're hot tonight.
I got a rant. So when you go out to eat and you get a sandwich, what are you expecting?
Bread and something in between it, and maybe
Dave's
squirting
waffling
on one side.
So do you want like a big ass sandwich, or you want like a normal sandwich?
Oh, it depends. Are you trying to go for a hoagie, or are you trying to go for a sandwich?
I'm just going for a sandwich. I just want a sandwich, damn it.
Just a hand, right? You don't need you don't want a hoagie. That's why they have 6 or 12-inch available when you go to those places,
Yeah. So I mean, one of my places, because I go to vegan restaurants, but I know that regular restaurants do this too. So On the Bus, I love On the Bus. They're one of the vegan restaurants inside of Milwaukee Public Market. We've been getting curbside takeout. So last couple of times we've gotten curbside. Well, the cat's back there, just so you know. Last couple of times we've gotten takeout. My sandwich is literally this big. Now you see me holding my hands up. It's bigger than my face. They put it on a ciabatta roll. They make it like this thick, and then the bread. So the sandwich is like this thick. And so last time I went to On the Bus, I forget what I got, but they cut it like off center. So I ate the smaller part of the sandwich as my dinner, and my husband ate the other part of the sandwich as his dinner the next day, and he goes, "That's too big."
Even the amount that he had was
and I don't like leftovers, because sandwiches, if they're not right, they get soggy the next day. You can't necessarily heat them up. So then I go over to Urban Beats, and they give me a sandwich, and it's a proper sandwich. It's like, damn it, this was a good sandwich, because I felt like...
How could you argue with getting more?
See, I knew you were going to say that, because that's why I wanted to ask you what you liked for sandwiches. But it's like, I can't argue with getting more, because to me, it's like, so if you make me pay $8.50 or $9 for a sandwich, that's far too large, and I end up throwing half of it away, or having to split it with Roger, who doesn't necessarily like the things I like. To me, that's not value. I would rather pay $5 or $6 for a smaller sandwich with, my chips or whatever comes with it. Right. Sometimes they give you like a nice little salad at Urban Beats.
Oh man, it's you think back, like whenever you go to an Italian restaurant, you always have a tin to bring home the next day.
Yeah, but Italian food you can heat up.
Whenever you go to get Chinese food, you always have just as much the next day as you had the night before.
But Chinese food, again, you can heat up. A sandwich you cannot always heat up because it gets soggy.
This is true.
Especially if it has like lettuce and tomato and pickles. It's like, no.
Yeah,
so
it just doesn't. You're right. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. So my point is give me a value sandwich at a little less money, rather than giving me the big Horkin sandwich that I may not want all the way.
I know. See, and that's that whole thing with what you talk about waste, and even I talk about that on how what people waste. What is it? 49% of the food they bring in, or 30% or 40%, they waste. And I get a head of lettuce, let's say, and they have a half head next to it. Now, I probably only need the half head, but the half head costs 75 cents and the full head costs $1. So, for a quarter, I'm going to take the bigger one and maybe throw away some of it, I'd rather, if there's a half loaf of bread be, for $1, and there's a full loaf of bread for $1.10. It's hard not to go and get the full loaf.
Boy, you are old, because these numbers that you're calling, it's like A loaf of bread, we're talking $2.50 and up.
No, see, that's not it. I go to Walmart. There's $1. There's a long Italian one you can get for $1 there.
Oh yeah, the Italian loaves. Yeah, okay, we'll give that one to you.
And the difference in the bagels, I get my big guy bagels, and it's $1.98 instead of $3.26 for the other ones that are there. So there's always a way to get a little cheaper.
Dave goes for value rather than quality.
Yeah, it all looks the same coming out, babe. That's for sure. Labels on it then.
There's a label on your poop?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There ain't. That's why. It doesn't matter what it is.
I suppose. But that was my little rant. So I actually
I think you should really drop a note to those people. Just give them a little. Hey, just as a little heads up, I would really appreciate spending $3 less and getting half the size sandwich would still make it a worthwhile endeavor for you. I'd pay, less than half.
Then they would get people who would complain because they're used to those big sandwiches.
No, but it's an option.
And they're busy.
You cut one in half at the beginning. Listen, all you got to do is cut one of those in half at the beginning of the day. If nobody buys it by the end of the day, then I was wrong. If someone buys it by the end of the day, I was right. You sell 2 for $5 instead of 1 for $9. There you go.
There you go. See, Dave's thinking. Dave's absolutely thinking. So we're going to move on to hip happenings. And I didn't put anything in because I didn't see very much in the way of hip happenings.
I'm disappointed with trying to go out and do something. I don't want to think about doing anything anymore. You know what I mean? If something comes up and I hear it, I'm going to talk about it. But other than that, I'm not going to force anybody to go out to do anything except go walk in the parks when it's a nice day like it was today. Watch the Packer game at home.
Yes, and that is coming up Sunday afternoon. Packers play. We're the first game. So there's a hip happening for everybody to do.
Right, which brings me to watch Aaron on Jeopardy.
That's right. He's going to be hosting.
He's going to be a special guest host. So that'll be very interesting. I'm glad they tapped him for that. And Chrissy was like, well, he didn't do very well. He was on the show. And I said, he won. And he goes, but he got a lot of questions wrong. I said, we'd get a lot of questions
It's Jeopardy.
Wrong. But I was mad. The final question was a Harley Davidson question that he missed. He missed a Harley Davidson
Oh, really?
question.
See, I didn't watch that one. So what was the question?
I can't remember what it was, but it was just...
I probably would have gotten it right.
It was easy. It was an easy one. I was like, hey, Harley Davidson. And he did not get it, Well, and so screw Harley Davidson. That's how well you're getting known now. People don't know you because you're pulling back on your live, on this wired thing, this rewire thing that you're doing, they're just didn't they just come off the Bucks now too? They just took their Harley Davidson logo.
Yeah, well, they're in huge financial trouble. They're going to.
They're just pulling back like a turtle in a shell in a cold water. That's how much they're retreating.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who work there now, and there's a lot of really good people who work there. Unfortunately, I don't know what is wrong with their branding. I don't think that they've moved forward into a younger market, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Yeah. So, So that's
all
the
right.
hip
What's your
happenings.
pearl of wisdom?
Pearl of wisdom. So this is based on, again, the politics, but the past is your lesson. The present is your gift. The future is your motivation. So we need to learn from the past because obviously look what happened at the Capitol. People have not learned from the past. We need to learn from the past and move forward. The present is your gift. We have a new beginning. We have our present. We have a new president. We have the first female vice president, the first minority vice president. We have a woman in the White House as a first lady who's going to keep working, which is like a very big first. And we have a lot of hope now in the country, I think, which is, really nice. That is a gift. So now the future's our motivation. We have to keep working together. We have to work towards a better future. Our motivation to keep working to bring people out to vote, to be active, be activists, be good community members. So that's my pearl of wisdom.
Akuma Batata.
Hey,
behind you, right?
Hey, So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone.
All right. So I got to do if I don't do this, Dave will be mad. Stay safe, Milwaukee. So we'd like to thank our viewers and listeners. Dave's mom, my neighbor Pat. Hi, Pat. We love you. Anyone else who stumbled across us randomly?
JT, Chrissy.
Yes,
Marianne.
all of Dave's buddies and girlfriend and everything else. So if you like what you're hearing, please tell 2 people so they can tell 2 people. And Dave and I, look at that mug. How can you not help that mug become internet famous? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hip.or.critical. Our Facebook page. For some reason, my lower third isn't on here, and I didn't notice that because I had to redo some things. So anyway, you can give me a tweet. You know what it is. And we love you, Milwaukee. Stay safe. Everybody be good. Dave is waving. Aww. Alrighty.